Boelter Jones, Pro Football Hall of Famer, top 100.
Tyler Lockett from the Seattle Seahawks.
DK Metcalf from
Dave Burleson. You're watching NorbCam.
NorbCam.
You're watching NorbCam.
What's up, everybody? This is NorbCam coming at you live on this Wednesday afternoon to talk a little Seahawks, a little Russell Wilson, a little NFL news, and we got this special trivia contest that I'm doing for the first time. I hope you guys might have seen that. If you haven't, we are going to do this, see how much of a Seahawks, how educated of a Seahawks fan you really are. We're going to find out at the end of the show. So in preparation for that, while we cover these other news topics, I just want to give you the heads up now that go and make sure you've got, ideally, you'd have two devices, one to watch the video with and the other one to play the game with. If you've ever played Kahoot before, I know a lot of you probably have, just log into that on your device or get the app ready. At the end of the show, when we're ready to play the game, I'll put that Kahoot number on the screen. You guys can all join, and then we will go from there. This is the first time ever, so this could be the coolest thing that's ever happened, or it could be a complete disaster, one of the two. And we'll find out which one. But for the moment, I just want to shout out. I see a lot of people jumping into the chat. We got Whoa Willie, Sergio Jimenez, RK Zaniak, Addison Shable. Hey, Addison, good to see you again. My name is Adam Diego Avalos, Clement Bolin, Louis Libowitz, as always, and a bunch of y'all still jumping in. So thank you for being part of this. And I'm excited to say, as usual on Wednesdays, I am not alone. I am not alone. I've got my friends over here with me, joining me via Skype here. Yes, I'm talking about, there you see on the screen, Calvin Domingo at Steezy Way, Noah Boelter at DJ Squabo, and Seahawks Martin, because he's Seahawks Martin. How you guys all doing?
Feeling good. Pretty good. Beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day in the Pacific Northwest, and always a good day to talk some football with you guys. And, you know, I'm inspired, this whole trivia contest idea was really inspired by what you guys have been doing on your show. You have your own trivia contests of your own, and I thought, that's kind of a cool idea. So we played a little bit of that last week and did like a little impromptu trivia, but this time we're going to try to pull the audience to be part of this, and we'll see if they can actually pull this thing off. But while people are getting that ready, I got this frog in my throat that I keep struggling with, so bear with me as I'm getting through this. But let's get into the topic. I said Russell Wilson is underrated. I think that's been his calling card pretty much his entire career. But 8 seasons in, we've got the Pro Football Focus released their top decade team, and Russell Wilson ended up at number 33 on that list, which is... that just blows my mind, and we can debate that. No, I know you talked about that on your show, and Calvin, you might have done the same thing on yours. But Calvin, since I just watched your video about it, why don't you share with the audience real quick? We'll get your take on it. But before we do, I want you guys to talk a little bit about who you guys are for those who are people watching this show for the first time. Noah, why don't you start? And then Calvin, you guys talk about what you guys do here as my guests and what you guys do on your own channels, and then, of course, Seahawks Martin. So, Noah, tell me a little bit so the audience knows about what you guys do and who you guys are. Uh-oh. Noah, you there? Noah? Hello, Noah. Uh-oh.
I don't think Noah hears anything.
Yeah, so we have a weekly radio show we do every Saturday from 10 to 1. Is it coming through? Yeah. We got to make this work. Hold
on a second. Okay.
He's slow.
Yeah, for some reason you're laggy, Noah. You may want to reconnect. But let's go to Calvin. Why don't you start first? We'll go to Martin, and hopefully Noah can get his connection reestablished. Calvin, talk about your channel and what you do.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I'm going to let Noah get into the Boelt. But for me, so I post weekly videos on YouTube at Steezy Smith. Links will be in the description. I talk both NBA, NFL, and you guys could, look forward to weekly videos if you guys subscribe. And then for Noah, he posts daily videos, both NBA and NFL. You can find him at DJ Squabo, DJ Squabo.
All right. Noah, I think that connection looks better. Can you hear us okay now?
I can, in fact, hear you better.
Okay,
Thank you, Calvin, for the shout-out, too.
All right. Noah, why don't you take it? You were in slow motion before, but now you sound better. So, tell the audience a little bit about what you guys do on the radio and then online.
Yeah, so every Saturday from 10 to 1, we do the Boelt, which is basically a sports debate show. And we also play games with a game called Bolt Jeopardy. It's super fun. We talk all the hot topics in the world of sports, basketball, NFL, primarily, a little bit of baseball. And if you missed a live stream, you can listen live with the KGRG app. But if you missed a live stream, we post every single segment on the podcast at SoundCloud, and the link is in the description.
All right, that's Noah the Boelter. So, Martin, you're the youngest member of the crew here, one of the most educated, youngest Seahawks fans I know, Seahawks Martin. Tell the audience a little bit about what you do on YouTube.
You're too kind, Norb. Obviously, my channel's called Seahawks Martin because it literally says so right down there. I just talk sports, mostly football. Sometimes I'm posting basketball videos with my brothers. Get ready because I'm editing a horse video right now with Vincent, and I'm planning to make a new show coming out. It's kind of based off the Bolt, but more digitally, and you can see us. I guess it's kind of like a like a digital version of the Bolt, where it's kind of like those types of views where you look inside the studio and you can see the people talking. So we're gonna do, me and my friends Adam and Andrew gonna be on a Zoom call just talking. Yeah, that's my channel. I usually don't schedule to post daily or weekly. I just post it whenever I want. And yeah, that is my channel. So if you like Seahawks, then subscribe to my channel, subscribe to Noah's channel, subscribe to Norb's channel, and subscribe to Calvin's channel. Yes,
sub everybody up here. And and I want to welcome Sports Live in the ATL. David in Atlanta, a good, very devoted Atlanta Falcons fan who I've collaborated with many times. He's here, and he's a new moderator on my channel. So, David, thanks for coming in here. I do see you in the chat, so thanks for being part of this. Unfortunately, I was trying to get the phone lines working today, but as so often happens, technology wasn't cooperating, so not taking phone calls. But you guys can blow up the chat. Super chats are always welcome. And again, we will be doing our trivia contest at the end, so stick around for that. I'll tell you how we're going to do that in just a minute. Real quick, just a little background. My take on these guys, Seahawks Martin, I met Martin last year. He was a huge Seahawks fan, and I turned out to be a huge NorbCam fan. I saw this picture that his mom had sent me showing him dressed up as me for Halloween. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. So we struck up a little friendship. It's going to happen again this year. It's going to happen again. All right. Okay, upgrades. I'll
take it up to the next level by recording my Halloween. Okay.
There you go. Yeah, I want to see some video instead of just pictures. Yeah. But yeah, we had a good meeting last year. Surprised you on your birthday with some swag, and I actually ended up taking you to the Vikings primetime game, and which we won. A pretty exciting game.
True, yeah.
So that was fun to make that happen. And then these guys, Noah and Calvin, got to know them through their show at KGRG. They invited me to be a guest on their show, and had a great time. Did a couple times, and since then I've had these gentlemen on, and they've been a regular part of my show. So I appreciate having all you guys on here. You guys make me sound much more intelligent, so I do appreciate that very much. So let's get into some Seahawks talk now. I started by saying Russell Wilson, underrated, desperately underrated, ranked 33 on the Pro Football Focus's list. Shocking. Noah, why don't you get the conversation started? What's your thoughts on Russell Wilson here at number 33?
It's outrageous. Just looking at the list, first of all, you have to think that they're not really taking positional value into account, because Russell Wilson at 33, just based on his position alone, I think he should be ranked higher than that. You have corners ahead of him like Richard Sherman, Chris Harris. You have Casey Hayward Jr., as well as safeties. Eric Weddle's on the list. But a couple names I'd like to beat down specifically. I really don't like the fact that Rob Gronkowski is ahead of him on this list, and he's really high as well. This decade, he had 4 years with less than 50 catches. Not 100, less than 50, inconsistently on the field, and he was part of one of the greatest dynasties ever, and that's why they're putting him, or the greatest dynasty ever, and that's why they're putting him so high on this list. I don't think he should be ahead of Russell Wilson. Calvin Johnson played half the decade, and he's ahead of Russell Wilson. Matt Ryan's ahead of Russell Wilson. Some of these names are just ridiculous. I think, once again, it's the fact that we're the farthest up left corner in the NFL, and nobody really talks about us. I think they disrespected Russell Wilson on this list, and I think there's no question he should have been a lot higher.
Calvin, what's your take on this list?
I'm with Noah. I think it's absolute blasphemy. I think that him being at 33, I think they're putting way too much weight on the fact that he's never received an MVP vote in his entire career. And obviously, I don't think that should be the case. But with Russell Wilson being at 33 and guys like Matt Ryan, you have guys like Peyton Manning, who retired 4 years ago, on the list, Joe Staley, DeAndre Hopkins, Harrison Smith. I mean, these guys aren't even the best at the positions. And I get that Russ entered the decade 2 years later, but there are guys like Aaron Rodgers who missed a couple of years due to injury. There's guys like Drew Brees who had 3 straight 7 and 9 seasons. And so a lot of his numbers, because the only argument that a guy like Drew Brees has over Russ is the fact that he's thrown for so much more yards, so much more touchdowns, stats. But if your team's going 7 and 9 3 years in a row, wouldn't you consider those empty calories, empty stats? And so I think that they're putting way too much weight on those stats that Drew Brees has accumulated. Don't get me wrong, he's a great quarterback, but I just think that Russell Wilson had so much more impact on winning, and so much of our success has come from him, especially since 2016, 2017. A lot of people want to say that, a great defense and a great running game has been carrying Russ his entire career. That was the case for maybe his first 2, 3, maybe even 4 years. But ever since 2016, 2017, he's been a one-man army. He hasn't had an offensive line. He does the most with the least. And I don't know. This is just I don't get it. I think that PFF should be stripped of all their credibility just because. I mean, you're putting Russ at 33. It kind of makes me wonder how much knowledge they have about football. But yeah, I mean, for now, I'm just like, I just can't believe it.
What about you, Martin? What's your reaction to this?
It'd be better seeing Calvin and Noah rank these guys. I'm so annoyed right now. Russell Wilson 33. Matt Ryan is ahead of him. I mean, sure, Matt Ryan, yeah, he had that one great year. Or was it 2016? They made it to Super Bowl 51 where they decided to go to sleep in the fourth quarter. And then, I mean, I don't get it. Russell Wilson, he's had a winning record in every single one of his years. Matt Ryan, some points he was hitting like 7 and 9, 6 and 10, something like that. And I don't know how Matt Ryan's ahead. Like Calvin said, some of these guys ahead of Russell aren't even the best at their position. Geno Atkins is up there. I mean, I respect Geno, but I'd say Russell should be ahead of Atkins. Beast Mode's 29. At least I'm happy about that. There's guards that are better, ranked higher than Russell. Safety, secondary players. I mean, QB is probably the most well-known. It is the most well-known position in football, and Russell Wilson's ranked lower than O-linemen, which is pretty sad. And some of these guys aren't even in their prime anymore. Yes, they were at one point in their prime, 2010s and all, but Russell has been in his prime for pretty much his entire career. Besides his first 2 years, where everyone was saying he got carried by his team. But like Noah and Calvin said, he has been carrying this team since 2015 or so, as the LOB started to wind down and all those injuries and stuff. It's so confusing, the fact that Russell Wilson's at 33. He should be so much higher than that.
Yeah, I totally agree. And here's just one part of this list that you can just see how the discrepancy is so huge. At number 6 is Aaron Rodgers. Number 6. And you could debate how close the two of them are as players, as quarterbacks. And you got to jump from 6 to 33 before you see Russell Wilson. That's just pretty crazy to me. And really the things I think you got to look at, you can't always look at, I know you can't look at the team record, but you have to look at the totality of things. But the reality is Russell Wilson, Before Russell Wilson came to Seattle, Pete Carroll had already been here for 2 years, right? He'd been here since 2010. Earl Thomas was here in 2010. Is he Cam Chancellor? What year was Cam Chancellor? He was 2000.
I think it was 27 or 2011.
11, I think. Richard Sherman, Chancellor. Beast Mode was here in 2010. And in 2010, 2011, we went 7-9 twice. And if we didn't get Russell Wilson in 2012, who knows what their record would have been. And ever since Russell Wilson came, we haven't had a losing season. We had losing seasons until Russell Wilson came. So just take that into account. But then also look at the fact, playoffs almost every single year, except for one, and that wasn't even Russell's fault.
That was Blair. Yeah.
Yep, Blair Walsh. Should have won one Super Bowl, should have won two. We could argue about that all day long. And then... Well, yeah, there's so many things we could deconstruct about that for another day. But then just statistically, Russell Wilson is always near the tops of his categories when it comes to touchdown, to interception ratio, his quarterback rating, always consistent. And you don't see that from other guys who are higher on this list. Like Matt Ryan has had some great years. He's had some horrible years where his teams were like 4-12. And so... I think it's a model of consistency. The only thing that's consistent is that Russell Wilson has always been underrated, overlooked, and never given the accolades that he deserved, and not even a sniff of an MVP. And I think that gets held against him more than everything else that should be weighed into the discussion. Don't you agree, guys? That's just crazy. What do you guys think of the chat? I want to shout out XRat3D 12th Man, who's put a couple of super chats up there. Thank you so much. And... so you guys could put in what you guys think in the chats, but I think clearly a unanimous vote by this panel of four that Russell Wilson certainly deserved to be higher. The other Seahawks in this list, I believe wasn't it four altogether? Four Seahawks?
Sure, something like that. Yeah,
Earl Thomas, Richard Sherman, Beast Mode,
Wagner.
Yeah. I'm going to read this list just so you can kind of digest who are the guys ahead of Russell Wilson. We'll quickly go through this and then move along our topic. So number one, Tom Brady. Okay, can't really argue that one. Number two, Aaron Donald. We could, depending on how you look at it, could be debated, but definitely one of the best defensive players. Number three, Drew Brees. Number four, Richard Sherman. 5, Rob Gronkowski, as you talked about. Number 6, Aaron Rodgers, as I talked about. Number 7, Von Miller. 8, Julio Jones. 9, J.J. Watt. 10, Luke Kuechly. He's retired now. When did he retire? Last year? Last season? Before last season? 11.
It was this off season.
What's that?
It was this past off season.
This is past off season. Okay. Joe Thomas, 11. 12 is Chris Harris Jr. Mike Martin, you got something to say there?
Joe Thomas. I mean, did he spend most of his years in like the 2000s or so? I don't really remember, but like he didn't spend the. I mean, he was a really big part of O-line. I can accept that, but like, Russell should be higher than him, right?
Yeah, I mean, he was very consistent, but yes, a lot of his years stretched from before the 2010. And I think sometimes on this list, it feels like, especially with Drew Brees, it feels like a lot of the accolades and stats from prior to 2010 seem to be weighing in on their rankings here, is what it feels like a little bit, as opposed to just looking at what they did in 2010. But continuing down this list, 13, Antonio Brown. 14, guard Evan Mathis. 15, Eric Weddle. 16, Calvin Johnson. You talked about him only playing about half of the decade. 17, Khalil Mack. 18, Peyton Manning. Might be argued Peyton Manning's kind of low on that list if you ask me too. 19, Jason Peters. 20, we get Earl Thomas. 21, Andrew Whitworth. 22, Harrison Smith. 23, Darrelle Revis. 24, Casey Hayward Jr. 25, Marshall Yanda.
Yanda.
Who's Marshall Yanda? Oh, he's a guard. That's right.
Ravens.
Offensive linemen never get enough love, of course. But continue on. 26, Devin McCourty. 27, Joe Staley. 28, Patrick Willis. 29, Marshawn Lynch. 30, DeAndre Hopkins. He's pretty low on that list, too. 31, Geno Atkins. 32, Matt Ryan. and then we get to 33 Russell Wilson. So anyway, that just gives you a sample of that list. You know, they don't explain exactly how they come up with this. I mean, if you read Russell Wilson's description, you'd think he'd be like number 3. Somehow, Russell Wilson has never earned an MVP vote since he has been in the league, and yet few quarterbacks have achieved more with as many things working against them, at least on the offensive side of the ball. Only Patrick Mahomes has a higher big-time throw rate than Russell Wilson over the past decade, and obviously Mahomes has only had to do it for a little over 2 seasons. Wilson has an incredible ability to make big plays without having a high rate of errors to offset those, and he brings a threat with his legs that few quarterbacks have. He has been one of the most valuable players in the game over any span of time and one of the best quarterbacks in football. Does that sound like a number 33 ranked player? Their own logic is puzzling. But, well, you know what? If that'll fuel Russell and put that chip on the shoulder to go prove everybody wrong, I think that's fine with me. But one thing we do know is he's still the number 1 paid quarterback. So probably for him and the bank account, he's not complaining too much, right? He'll take number 1 paid over number 33 ranked on a PFF list. Any other thoughts on that before we move topics, guys? Nope, I think we said all that needs to be said. Okay, let's move on to Quentin Dunbar. The ongoing saga of the Quentin Dunbar armed robbery that's been talked about quite a bit over the last couple of weeks. The most recent news hasn't been a lot, except what we expected to have happen, which was he did post bail, was released from jail, and then he pleaded not guilty to the armed robbery charges. So, well, hello there. I do want to say a quick shout out to Ninja CRK in the super chat. Let's go Seahawks! Yeah, baby. So that's kind of where things are at. But Noah, you said you had some other information pertaining to those affidavits. What can you tell us about the latest with Quentin Dunbar?
Yeah, so Norb, like you said, both players are out on bond right now. I'm not sure if you guys are aware. The bond was different prices for these guys because of the number of charges. There was about $25,000 per charge. So DeAndre Baker's came up to $200,000, whereas Dunbar's was for $100,000. They're out on certain conditions. First of all, they cannot speak to any of the witnesses. As well, they had to turn in any firearms that they owned. What's really important to mention right now is that the lawyer for Dunbar, Mike Grieco, has 4 victim affidavits as well as an independent witness's affidavit essentially stating that Dunbar had nothing to do with the crime. While they don't go back and they change their opinion on the Baker side of things, they do for the Dunbar side of things. And we have conflicting reports from Baker's side as well, who's trying to get a little bit more credit from some of the victims. But what's so important and what's so crucial about this is that the 4 victim affidavits are essentially coming within 36 hours of when they first accused these men of the crimes. And based on their original stories, the arrest warrants were sent out for the players, including Quentin Dunbar. So they don't have any real evidence other than these statements that they've brought forward. And so to that point, now that the opinions have changed, these players are in great shape, especially Quentin Dunbar. It's starting to look really good for him. And Calvin, I got to give you credit for it because you kind of called it. You believed him on his story, and it's starting to add up right now. This doesn't mean that they're getting off scot-free, but it means that they're in a better position now than they were previously in the week. As well, though, it is important to bring up the Broward County prosecutor on the case mentioned the suspiciousness of the affidavits so soon after the incident. Why did all 4 victims change their stance on Dunbar's alleged participation in the robbery so quick? And why did it happen all at once? Now one of the victims has his own lawyer for the case. That doesn't make him look good. Potentially there could be money involved as to why the victims changed their stance and bribery. So the prosecutors of Broward County are looking into that as well, and it's going to be very interesting down the stretch here.
Interesting. Yeah, definitely we'll have to keep an eye on that. And we know the future of the Seahawks, defensively anyway, has a lot to ride on what happens with Dunbar's guilt or innocence in this case. Calvin or Martin, anything to add to the story? Any other information that you're privy to?
I don't really have anything to add. I think Noah hit the points. I do want to, shout you out for shouting me out. I appreciate that. But I don't think there's really anything else to add. I'm glad that the case is looking up for him, and hopefully there won't be any suspensions or anything like that in the near future.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to add either. I just hope, fingers crossed, that he can play for us, and we'll just see.
All right, we will see. We'll see what happens. Devin Peterson in the Super Chat says, I'm on the waiting list for season tickets. Well, that's awesome. That's a long list. List. So we'll see how many years we're talking about. But congratulations. I'm actually on the list to get more tickets, and I have no idea how long that's going to be either. But I'm hoping to get more than the 2 I have right now. So speaking of tickets and games, I want to play a little game with you guys. This isn't the game yet. This is just more of an exercise in discussion of the season coming up. Now, this is assuming, that we will have games that we can attend to. But I just wanted to kind of get a sense as to which games are really the ones that you have circled on your calendars. And I thought and this question can go to the chat as well, but if you could go to any one home game and any away game this season, I'm curious, which one would it be? And let me start with Calvin on this. Calvin, which city would you go to, and which home game opponent would you face if you could choose any to go to in 2020?
All right, so first I gotta say I've only been to one game ever, and that was last season at home versus the Cardinals. And you guys know how that turned out.
I'm sorry, man.
Noah kept telling me, and Noah was telling me that I'm bad luck, and so maybe it's best that I don't go to any games. But if I do get the opportunity to, then I'd love to go to our home game, Week 8 against the San Francisco 49ers, just because, like I said, I haven't really been to games like that, and just watching us play San Fran, especially on TV every single year, we're always neck and neck. It's always such a good game, and so I'd love to be a part of that atmosphere. And the fact that we're the loudest stadium in football, I think that I could really, put that to the test. Me being there, hopefully, Week 8, and so the one home game that I'd want to be at would definitely be the one against San Fran. And then the road game that I'd love to be at would be Week 17 in San Fran, just because last year, at the watch party, it was just so full of energy. I'm sure there'll be a whole lot of Seahawks fans in San Fran, and I'm pretty sure San Fran will be looking to avenge that loss, even though they already kind of did when they went over to Seattle Week 17 this year. But, I think they have a little something to say about us winning, in their building Week 10 in overtime. And so I'd love to be over there. And I'm just kind of thinking that Week 17 will kind of come down to the division. And so who wouldn't want to be a part of that atmosphere?
Yeah, wow. So double dipping the 49ers, home and away.
I hope I'm not cheating, though.
Yeah. Well, you're right about that. I think it is going to be it's going to be tight. Both teams have some payback since we both lost on our own home fields. So I think we all want to write that, and love to see Seattle get the best of both of those in a payback season. Noah, let's go to you. What games would you go to, home and away?
Well, I'm actually really shocked that Calvin said he wants to go at San Francisco. That was the game that I was kind of circling, because Calvin's a Miami guy. I thought he'd want to go see when Seattle goes to visit the Dolphins. But with Calvin's luck and track record at Seahawks games, I sure hope he doesn't go to either San Francisco game. I'll tell you this much. I went to the game down at Levi's Stadium on Thanksgiving, and we won that game. After the game, the Niners fans were not too friendly, though. So I'll just take that one out because Calvin said he'll go to that game. And if I was unable to go to that one, let me take the Miami game. I want to go down there where the weather changes every 15 minutes, where it's humid, hot, and we can go enjoy seeing Tua Tagovailoa, however you spell it, as well as that talented young roster. They added a whole bunch of pieces this offseason. Enjoy the weather, go for a swim, and get to watch some good football across the country. If I was going to go to an away game, that would be the one. And then at home, I want to see America's team with Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and these boys. The Neville Gallimore, Trayvon Diggs, some of the pieces they added on defense are going to be a lot of fun to watch. Offensively, they have so much firepower. It's in Seattle. with Russell Wilson, the Seahawks have never lost a home game that I've attended. But before Russell Wilson, they did. So I don't know if this technically counts. But Russell Wilson, I'd want to show up and I'd want to support us against the Cowboys because they have a really potent offense and we've struggled at home.
All right. Good choices. Kind of going all the way across the country to Miami, a place we don't play very often, and a team that's quite changed over the last, just this offseason. Martin, how about you? You went to I know you've been to a couple of games. You went with me last year to the Vikings. Where would you go this time?
I went to 2 games in the 2019 season. The first was the Bengals game. My brother got Russell Wilson's towel. I'm not lying. And then I went to the Vikings game with Norb. Both of them was a win. Both of them very close. But this time, I want to go to the Arizona game because it's on my birthday. I mean, it'd be a great birthday treat to go to CenturyLink Field, watch the Seahawks game on my birthday. I know it's hopefully it's probably not going to end well because, it's Arizona. We suck at home against Arizona. But, I mean, it'd be cool to go to CenturyLink Field. And if we somehow win, that'd be the best. Okay, the second best birthday ever. The best birthday ever was Norb surprising me. And then for the away game, Noah stole my idea. I wanted to go with technically I'm doing this for my family. I would go to Miami because my parents, they love Florida. They actually want to move there because I actually have eczema, and so I scratch a lot. And so they're saying we should move down to Florida. That way my eczema goes away. And I'm like, heck no, I'm staying here. I don't care about my skin for now.
Yeah, take one for the team.
Yeah, but it'd be cool to have my family loves Florida. We haven't been there yet. We actually have been to Miami Airport as a what do you call it, like a stop, and then we headed to Dominican Republic. But it'd be cool to go down to Miami. My parents, I know for sure, will have a great time. So I'm doing this for the family because then I know family comes first. I would like to go down to Miami, though. It's hot, warm, and I would like to see the Seahawks just take down to a tongue twister Loa. I took that from Tom Grossi, by the way.
Oh, okay. Tom Grossi. I've collabed with that guy. He's very funny. Big time Packers fan. Good following. Okay, so for me, this is a tough one. I think I would have to go with the home game would be the Patriots, Sunday Night Football, Week 2. Okay. How can you resist the evil empire, the team that caused you one of the worst losses in the history of Seattle? You want to stick it to them every time you get a chance to. We stuck it to them last time in their field. I'd like to stick it to them here. I know it won't be the same without Brady and Gronk and all those guys, but there's enough people still on that team that I remember that it would be fun to do that. And it's a Sunday Night Football game, prime time. So that would be my home choice. Now away, I had a lot of thoughts which would be tempting. There would be Miami just for the weather and the uniqueness of it. Los Angeles because it's the brand new stadium, just to be in there. That had a big heavy part of that. But then there was also the Monday Night Football game against Philadelphia. And Philadelphia last year was a game that if I was going to go somewhere, I had that one circled just because, one, the history, I've never been to Philadelphia. I think it'd be an awesome town to visit just because there's so much history of the country, in that area, so much, just everywhere you go, from the Rocky statue and the steps to the Liberty Bell and everything, and to have a legit Philly cheesesteak. I think that would be a pretty tempting reason to go there. Now, I'd be scared for my life maybe to go into the stadium on the actual day of the games. I'd have to play it real low key as to not get beat up by some of those crazy fans, but I think
I heard the fans in Philadelphia are actually quite rude. Like I hear a lot of cuss words.
Oh, I heard they're rude to everybody, including their own team if they're not performing well. So I can only imagine what it's like to actually be an opponent fan in the stands. But there's a part of me that would be intrigued to find out how it goes. And I've been to a lot of stadiums, and most of the time I get along pretty well with the fans. As long as you don't drink and become a jerk, usually people are pretty respectful for the most part. I've actually had more problems with the home fans at CenturyLink, believe it or not. But that's a whole another topic for another story. But that would actually be fun to go into Philadelphia and for all those reasons. So I think that would be my away game choice, to go to Philly And heck, we played a lot of good football over there, and it's been a long time since we lost to Philadelphia. So I'd like to think that we'd get a win too. Knock on wood, baby. Knock on wood.
I like to see us shut that crowd up for once.
It would be an interesting. Oh yeah, and to add to that, if I went live in Philadelphia with those fans around, well, even if I did get the crap beat out of me, at least I'd have it on YouTube, so I'd have court documentation, and it would probably help my ratings and boost my subscribership. So that all is a positive. At the expense of getting my nose broken or something. But anyway, so all right, so you guys in the chat, you can continue to tell me what games you'd like to see. But let's see, what else did we have on our agenda here? That was kind of it, wasn't it? We were going to talk about, we want to get into the trivia side. Should we get into, oh yeah, Aldon, yes. The return of one of our once rival teams from one of our rival players from one of our rival teams who sort of boneheaded his way out of the league. Mr. Aldon Smith, who hasn't played in how many seasons now, got in trouble for multiple things. I remember he said bomb at the airport as a joke or some kind of thing. Got arrested for that. He was using firearms at a party at his house or something, and just did a lot of dumb things to get himself thrown out of the league. Well, the Dallas Cowboys, America's team, decided to give Aldon Smith a chance, and he's going to come back and play in 2020. Guys, what was your reaction to see today's breaking news about Aldon Smith coming back to the league? Let's go reverse order. Martin, you can start.
Pretty shocked considering that he's done so. Oh my God, excuse me. Quite a lot of bad things in the past few years. I remember him as like a monster for the 49ers line, which I totally hate. I remember he made that one play on Russell 2013. That very first play. That was him. That was all him. He was a great player until all that terrible stuff happened to him. Kind of shocking to see him back, considering that like he's gotten himself into so much trouble. But yeah, I sure hope that as the Dallas Cowboys, not the same self as he was in San Francisco, and I just sure hope that we can contain him.
Yeah, it's a little bit scary to think he's coming back, and we will face him, assuming that he ends up on the field early in the season when we host the Dallas Cowboys. What about you, Cal? What do you think about this return of Aldon Smith? It's a name we haven't heard in a long time.
Right. I'm not surprised, just because I don't think that Dallas would sign him to a 1-year, $4 million contract if there wasn't any chance of him being reinstated. But I think the fact that he hasn't played in 5 years, I'm not really that scared of him. I get that he's still, in his late 20s, maybe even early 30s, so he should still have some gas in the tank. I guess you could make an argument for the fact that he doesn't have a lot of tread on his tires. I just think that he's been away from the game for so long, it'll take at least a year, if not more than that, for him to really get back into peak football shape. And even in his last season, I think it was in Oakland, he wasn't very disruptive. He didn't look like he was the same when he was in San Fran. And so I think that we've seen the best of him, or at least I hope we've seen the best of him. And so I think that until he kind of gets his legs under him, I think that until he gets into football shape, there's really nothing to fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Noah. That's your cue to take the floor here.
Well, you bring up a good fact when you say that he's not in good enough shape right now. He's actually 21 pounds heavier, listed at 287 now than he was when he played for San Francisco, where he was 265. So he's definitely more out of shape. He's had multiple DUIs before or when he was on his way out of the NFL, as well as the airport incident. Just mentally, we were concerned about Aldon Smith's well-being, and then now to go 5 years and come back after apparently being off a substance for a while. First of all, that's excellent. I'm happy for his story. I want to see him be successful. But over his past 2 years in the NFL, he had less than 6 tackles and less than 50 tackles and less than 6 sacks cumulative over those 2 seasons. Unimpressive numbers. Like you said, Calvin, he was lackadaisical in Oakland, and now he's going into a new situation in Dallas. I understand their pass rush is struggling. This isn't the answer. If they can get 1 or 2 sacks from him, on the year. That's what I would expect maybe from Aldon Smith. If he's able to get that, then they should be really happy with his production.
All right. Well, time will tell. It's we see all these influx of new players, and every once in a while, it seems like Seattle's been really good at bringing old players back. But this is an old player going back to a new team here, and a team that we just happen to be facing in this season. So we'll see what happens with see if Aldon Smith can stay out of trouble for the next 4 months, and enough to at least make it to that game where we will face him in a different colored uniform. So we'll be interesting to see. See if these guys could just keep their record clean. I mean, my gosh, you guys are sitting on these lottery tickets. Just play football and enjoy your money. It's like, oh my gosh, you guys got so much going for you. Well, we'll see. Second chances for Aldon Smith. Okay, any other news before we jump into this trivia challenge? You guys got anything else? Any other late breaking stuff?
No.
I don't think so. I think that's it, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's do this. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm nervous because this could all go terribly wrong or it could all go terribly right. We're about to find out. So if you guys are ready, I know you guys are ready. You guys just have to answer the questions, but it's the viewers out there.
You have to say the answer.
That's right. And you save it until we get the audience a chance to get their answers in here. So what we're going to do is, again, this Seahawks trivia game was created by yours truly. I actually created these questions for you, and it's on Kahoot. So on your other device, so hopefully you have access to 2 devices. I guess you could do it with one. You could technically switch from YouTube and jump over to your Kahoot app, but that's going to put you way behind the 8 ball. But if you can, watch the video here because I'll be telling you the questions, and then your answers you'll be answering on the Kahoot interface. And if you haven't played Kahoot before, basically you have 4 boxes, one at the top left, one at the top right, bottom left, bottom right, and it's a multiple choice answer, kind of like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So I'm going to ask a trivia question, and then I'm going to read off the potential answers in that order. I guess on your screen it would be this. It would be left, upper right, bottom left, bottom right on your screen. So. And then the game will keep track of who the winner is, and the person who gets the most answers right and can answer them the fastest is going to win, and I'll announce what that prize is at the end. I'm not going to tell you what it is quite yet, but there is going to be a little surprise, assuming the entire thing doesn't completely fall apart and go nuts. So, if you guys are ready, we're gonna do this. I'm going to put the Kahoot game pin number up, which is, if you've never played Kahoot before, that's how you get into the game. And then once you get into the game, it'll ask you for your nickname. And I'd like to have you guys put in your YouTube handle. That way it matches up with people who are talking in the chat and it'll be easier to figure out who's who. So I'm going to bring up the split screen right here for the game. Let's let the games begin. All right, there we go. Here is the Kahoot interface. This is the number. So if you are in your Kahoot game right now, you're going to enter the pin number 4580626. 4580626. We have Magic Jaguar 38. Okay, we got a bunch of people. Whoa, 7 players now. Deadly Skills. Holy cow! And I don't know how many I can accommodate. At some point, we're gonna hit a limit. But wow, 21 players, 22, 24, 27. Holy cow! There's more than I expected. 28.
Wow.
I think I could go to 50. I think I have a 50 player limit because I went and actually did the one, not the one you can have like 1,000 people, but I think 50 is the limit. So we have 34 players. We have 16 slots left. We have here are the people we got. We've got Jeffrey Wood, Yona B. Nope, it's moved. Yona B, Johnny DeMuro, Curry Baller 30, Neba, Asian Dad, the Zekinator, Seahawks Boy. Most Wanted, East Bass 51, Game Review, Chrysostomo, I'm playing this game? What? Chase Pierce, Thomas, where is it? My list is changing so fast. Thomas Hamilton, Addison Shea, Steezy's, so you're on there. Steezy's in there. You're logged in. Okay, I thought we were going to do this often. Calvin, you're playing? I thought we were going to do... Actually, no. I'm going to take you guys off.
Like Jeopardy.
I'm going to take you guys off because you guys have too much of an advantage because you have a 4-second advantage over the YouTube audience. So I can't do that to them. Otherwise, you'll be dominating like first, second, and third. Actually, though, Calvin, I saw your answer from last trivia. Maybe you wouldn't dominate. But...
Okay.
Maybe you need to play the game. Okay, but hey, these questions are not softball tosses. Some of these are a little tricky, actually. Okay, so we have 47 players. I was going to give you 30 more seconds to log on. I think it's a 50-player limit, but we'll see. We have 46 right now. 44. It's shifting as we go. Barack Obama. Hey, President Obama, thanks for coming to the show. I know you have nothing better to do than play a Seahawks trivia game on NorbCam. Wild Husky 22. Nick LeBeau. My name is Adam. King Craig. Okay, so we're at 45 players. I'm going to give you 20 seconds left before we start the game. I think I can open the music in the lobby here. There we go. There he is. There's the music. Got the little Kahoot music for some audio entertainment. Oh, excited. 48 players. 10 seconds left to sign in. I think I can get a couple more in there. This is 49. We got 49. Can we get 50? Do I hear 50? 49 players. 49 players. We got 49 over here. 49. Can we get 50? We've got 50 players in the house. No, we don't. Drop to 58. 48. That's okay. All right. 50, I think, is the limit, though. Here we go. I'm going to start the game in 3, 2, 1. Oh, we got 51 players. Oh, I guess we can go more than 50. I'll give you 10 more seconds. 52 players. Do I hear 53? We're going in 10, 9,
My brother wants to join
8,
in, but
7, 6. I'm slowing it down for your brother. 5,
Hurry on, Kahoot,
4, 3. 54 players now. 2, 1.
You're so slow.
Okay, we're gonna start. Here we
How
go.
do you want us to answer?
Okay, this is what we'll do. While I give stall time for the other people to join in. You guys are just going to.
What?
You
Okay,
will know your answer and just keep it in your head. And then at the end of the Kahoot time, it's going to say what the answer is, and then we'll discuss it, get what your answers were, and then move on to the next question. All right? Okay. We have 55 players in the house. We're going to start now. Here we go. 12 questions, of course. 12. NorbCam Seahawks trivia. Here we go. Get ready. Question number 1. In what year was the Seahawks' first postseason appearance? Was it 1980, 1995, 1983, or 2005? 10 seconds. 1980, 1995, 1983, or 2005?
I already got the answer.
Time is up. The correct answer is 1983. 1983. Okay, so I will update the scoreboard shortly. We got 15 people who got the correct answer in our competition. Martin, what did you have? Martin, what was your answer?
Oh, 1983, yeah.
Noah.
Had it the whole time.
83.
Noah? Calvin?
I said 95.
If it was the Mariners, you would have been right on, sir. All right, let's check the scoreboard here. Let's see who's ahead at this point. We've got, here's the update. Deadly Skills at 838. Lettuce Brockle at 833, followed by Chrysostom. That's right. I'm smart. Third place, baby, with 830. Wild Husky at 22. And Ezra Jackson at 813. Let's keep it going. Let's move on to the next question in NorbCam Seahawks trivia. Here we go. Question number 2. Former Seahawks quarterback Warren Moon played for which college? Was it Stanford University, Texas A&M University, University of North Carolina, or the University of Washington? You have 10 seconds. Stanford University, Texas A&M, University of North Carolina, University of Washington. Time is up. If you guessed University of Washington, you are correct. 18 people in the game got it right. Let's see what our panel said. Martin, what did you guess?
I thought it was, it's in North Carolina, actually. I don't know a lot about Warren Moon.
Oh, okay. How about...
I can't believe that I missed UW.
The encyclopedia had a typo. All right, how about Calvin? What did you get, Calvin?
I'm not gonna lie. Actually, I had UW.
All right. I know you guys don't lie. You guys are very honest. Of course you wouldn't lie. Noah?
A&M.
Oh, you said Texas A&M? Oh.
Yeah, I was like, man, he said there's no gimmies here, man. I was like, nah, it ain't UW.
All right, so I'm not keeping track of your own scores. So I want you to keep track of your own, just so that you can remember your stats as we go. All right, so keep track of your own. Let's see what the scoreboard says. Updating scoreboard, we've got Asian Dad at the top with 1676, Seattle at 1608, Ian Ongers for 1605, Tarun S7 at 900, and my name is Adam at 863. Those are your leaders.
Adam, you got this, Adam.
Those are your leaders. Let's go to the next question. Question number 3 in the NorbCam. What was the final score of Super Bowl 40? Was it 28-24? 21-10, 21-17, or 24-20. Super Bowl 40, 28-24, 21-10, 21-17, or 24-20. 3 seconds. If you guessed 21-10, you would be correct. We've got 24 people. Very good response by the audience in there. Let's go to our panel. Noah.
I guessed, but I got it.
You didn't know, but you guessed right. 21-10. Calvin.
21-10.
All right. Martin.
The football encyclopedia didn't get a typo. 21-10.
All right. Let's see the score. Let's update the scoreboard.
Come on, Adam.
Asian Dad on fire
Adam.
with 27-26. Seattle close to second, 26-88. My name is Adam, moving up to third. Crisosimo back in the place in fourth place, baby. And Lettuce Brockle with 1678. Let's go to question number 4 in Seahawks trivia. Let's go. Which professional sports franchise does Seattle Seahawks owner, or late owner, Paul Allen own? Is it the Portland Trailblazers, Seattle Supersonics, Seattle Storm, or the Los Angeles Clippers? Again, late Paul Allen, owner of which basketball team? Portland Trailblazers, Supersonics, Seattle Storm, LA Clippers.
That's easy.
2
I
seconds.
already knew that. You're worrying like that, bro.
Oh, 33 correct answers in the Kahoot. And it is Portland Trailblazers. That is a good response by the crowd. Let's see how our panel did. Martin.
I knew it. Trailblazers. Not a typo. I'm flexing.
All right. Calvin, did you get it?
Yes, sir. Make it a party of 2.
Noah, how about you?
Calvin, you know better than that. Of course.
All right. Okay, let's move on to the next question here. Actually, scoreboard update first. Asian Dad still on top. Seattle at second. My name is Adam. Holding on to Adam. Sorry, holding on to third. Jeffrey Woods moves up to fourth place, and Crisosimo's hanging on in fifth, baby. All right, here we go. Next question. Which number was not retired by the Seattle Seahawks? Was it 12, 71, 37, or 45? Which one was not retired? 12, 71, 37, or 45? 3 seconds. If you guess 37, you were correct. 37 would be, of course, Sean Alexander, the top rusher in Seahawks history. Not yet in the Hall of Fame. Let's see what the panel had to say about this. Martin.
37. Sean Alexander, as great as he is not retired. No, I mean, his number's not retired.
That's correct.
Calvin. Man, I said 45.
Oh, Kenny Easley.
Oh, Kenny Easley.
And I even talked about it on a previous show. I saw Kenny Easley at the Hall of Fame, and he did have a retirement of his jersey as well. Noah, how about you?
Well, no, it's funny you said that because we talked about it on our show too.
We did.
Just forgot. Like we went through and we not only I asked them how many people have their number retired for Seattle, but I also gave them double points for listing all the numbers, and Dylan actually did it. So,
wow.
But yeah, no, 37. I was right.
Okay. All right. Let's check the score update. Asian Dad holding at the top. Seattle in second. Crisosimo moves up to third, baby. Thomas Hamilton in fourth. And Seahawks fan 3273 slides into the top 5. Let's go to the next question.
No.
Here we go. You guys ready?
It's Adam.
Let's go. Next question. Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll's longest previous NFL head coaching experience was with who? The San Francisco 49ers, the New England Patriots, the New York Jets, or the USC Trojans? Again, longest NFL previous head coaching experience. Niners, Patriots, Jets, or Trojans? Oh, yes. 27 people answered correct. If you said the New England Patriots, you got that one correct. He did. I can't remember how many seasons he had with them. Prior to that stint, he was with the New York Jets in his NFL coaching experience. USC Trojans, of course, not an NFL team. Let's go to the panel here. Martin.
I heard you wrong, and I thought that USC was there for a second. But yeah, I went with New England.
Oh, you got it right. Okay.
I'm like, wait a minute, I think I got it wrong.
Oh, you got it right. You got it right. You have to listen to the details. Calvin?
I said New York.
Oh, had a 50-50 chance of getting it right. Oh, went to New York. Noah, what about you?
Calvin said New York.
Man, I remember the fact that just after 49 is when I looked up the stat, and I was just looking at Pete Carroll's history and just seeing how long he spent in New England was really painful, and it stuck with me. And so I said New England.
Okay, all right, very good. All right, let's, I think we're the halfway point. So at this point, I'm going to update the leaderboard, and then I'm going to update, see where our panel is at. So the leaderboard now says... Asian Dad still on fire at the top. Chrysostomo, I'm in second place, baby. Seattle all in third. Thomas Hamilton in fourth, with Seahawks fan 3273 in fifth. Gentlemen, what is your record so far? Martin, how many correct answers have you gotten so far?
I think I've missed one.
I think you missed one.
Yeah.
You're 5 out of 6, I believe. I believe you're 5 out of 6. Noah?
I missed one.
5 out of 6. Calvin?
3. Missed 3.
You're 3 and 3. All right. Hey, at least it's not a losing record. All right. You're all right. You're all right there. Okay. Let's go to the next question. Here we go. Everybody ready? Let's do this thing. NorbCam trivia coming up again. Next question. Question number 7. Russell Wilson, typo, was a quarterback previously for what 2 NCAA programs? Was it Wisconsin and North Carolina State, Virginia and USC, Oregon and Wisconsin, or Wisconsin and Virginia? Which 2 college programs? Wisconsin, NC State, Virginia, USC, Oregon, Wisconsin, Wisconsin, and Virginia.
I'm very confident right now.
Oh, yeah, this was an easy one. This is probably the easiest question I put up here. Yes, Russell Wilson, of course, coming from Wisconsin, the Badgers, and NC State. And how did our panel do over there? I assume you guys nailed this one. Martin, Calvin, Noah, I'd be very ashamed if you got this one wrong. Okay. All right. So let's check out the scoreboard leaderboard update. Asian Dad holding strong. Chrysostomo in second. Seahawks fan 3273 moves up to third. Thomas Hamilton to fourth. And a new person on the board, Ian Ongers, moves up to fifth place at 5279. Next question. Here we go. Who is the only Seahawks running back to ever win a rushing title? Was it Kurt Warner, Marshawn Lynch, Ricky Watters, or Sean Alexander? Again, Kurt Warner, Marshawn Lynch, Ricky Waters, or Sean Alexander? You have 5 seconds. Only Seahawks running back to ever win a rushing title.
I have a bad feeling. Oh, okay.
It's the guy who doesn't have his name retired is the only one who's won the rushing title, believe it or not. Yes, that would be Sean Alexander. 33 of you guys got it right in the Kahoot. Let's go to our panel. Martin, did you get it? Sounds like you did.
Yeah,
Cheers.
I was guessing, actually.
Oh, got lucky. Calvin?
I said beast mode.
Oh.
You love
Go with the modern day.
I know. It's so hard to not think that it's these players you love so much, and yet it's the ones you don't expect sometimes that the things don't line up. Noah, did you get this right?
Man, he had an MVP year. Yes, Sean Alexander.
Okay. Let's check out the scoreboard here. Let's see where we stand now. Asian Dad holding at first. Chrysostom at second. Thomas Hamilton moves to third. Ian Ongers to fourth. And DJJD moves into fifth for the first time in the leaderboard. Let's go to the next question right now. What is the official shade of blue worn by the Seattle Seahawks? Is it College Navy, Blue Thunder, Royal Blue, or Hawk Blue? Official shade of blue worn by the Seattle Seahawks. College Navy, Blue Thunder, Royal Blue, Hawk Blue. You have 5 seconds.
Very confident. Very confident.
The correct answer is College Navy. 20 of you in the Kahoot got this right. How about our panel? Martin, obviously celebrating. You got this correct. Calvin?
Yes, sir. I got that right.
Nailed it. Noah? Oh, what'd you guess?
I was thinking College Navy, and then I'm like, nah, I don't know, so I'm going to go Hawk.
Oh, fell for the trap. It's a trap. Fell for the Hawk Blue. Oh man, let's see where the leaderboard shakes out now. Asian Dad holding strong at first. Chrysostom in second. Ian Ongers moves up to third. DJJD moving up to fourth. And Nick LeBeau, new entry into the top 5. Let's go. Oh, and this says tough round. 4 players lost their answer streak of 3. Oh, tough one on a color of all things. Here we go. Let's go to the next question. I like the Blue Thunder one, though. That was a good one. Okay, here we go. Next question. Question number 10. Who raised the first 12-man flag when the tradition began in 2003? Was it the 12 original Seahawk ticket holders, John Nordstrom, representing the team's original owners? Was it Steve Largent, former senator and Hall of Famer, or Paul Allen, the late owner of the Seattle Seahawks? Ticket holder, Nordstrom, Largent, or Allen?
I'm confident.
Dang.
Oh, we had a lot of misfires on this one, folks. We had a lot of misfires, and I kind of thought this might be the case. It was actually the first 12 original season ticket holders. A lot of you thought it was Paul Allen. It was not Paul Allen. Paul Allen would not raise the flag for quite a number of years later. I believe it was the NFC Championship game against the Carolina Panthers where Paul Allen raised it for the first time. Which of you gentlemen, panel, Martin, you said yes? He's dancing over there. We know he got original. It. Calvin, did you get lucky?
I said Steve Largent.
Oh, Noah, what about you?
Steve Largent.
Oh, man. Tough round. Let's see what the leaderboard shakes out now.
Pull off this upset over to Calvin.
Oh, nobody moved. It stays the same. Asian Dad, Chrysostom, Ian Ongers, DJJD, and Nick LeBeau. The leaderboards remains unchanged. Let's go. We've got, I believe, 2 more questions. Here we go. Besides Steve Largent, who was the only Hall of Famer to play his entire career with the Hawks? Was it Warren Moon, Steve Hutchinson, Sean Alexander, or Cortez Kennedy? Again, Warren Moon, Steve Hutchinson, Sean Alexander, or Cortez Kennedy? You have 3 seconds. Oh, yes. Most of the people in the Kahoot got it right. 20 of you got it right. It was Cortez Kennedy, number 96. Steve Hutchinson was a Hall of Famer, just got in this past year, but he also played for Minnesota, as we all know, because of the poison pill contract that saw him leave the Seattle Seahawks and go to the Minnesota Vikings. Warren Moon, also a Hall of Famer, but he was also with the Houston Oilers. Sean Alexander, as we talked about so much, not in the Hall of Fame. Martin, did you get this one right?
R.I.P. Tez, guys. R.I.P.
Man, the Martin, so far, the encyclopedia holding up pretty well. Calvin.
Back on track.
All right.
Says.
Noah, I would expect you to get this one. And he does. All right, let's see the leaderboard.
Go out.
Any changes here? Nope, it holds strong again. Asian Dad with a sizable lead with Chrysostom just behind him, and then Ian Ongers, DJJD, and Nick LeBeau. We've got, what now? One more question to go? I think just one more question. All right, here we go.
Oh, wow.
And
one more question?
Last question, I believe. Yep, last question. 2 years before Russell Wilson signed with the Seahawks, he played for what Washington team? The Everett Aqua Sox, Tacoma Rainiers, Tri-City Dust Devils, or the Aberdeen Ironbirds? What team did he play for in Washington? Everett Aqua Sox, Tacoma Rainiers, Tri-City Dust Devils, Aberdeen Ironbirds. Oh, this was a tricky one. Threw a lot of people off. It was, in fact, a lot of you guessed the Tacoma Rainiers, but in fact, it was the Tri-City Dust Devils. I did not know this, to be honest, until I created this thing.
I guessed
you got lucky, Martin, and got it?
Right?
You got the answer, Martin? You got this right?
Yeah.
Wow, somehow. Martin guessed again.
Somehow.
Calvin?
I chose the Everett Aqua Sox.
Oh, Noah, what about you?
Yeah, no, I was really confident about this one, but I got it wrong. I said the Tacoma Rainiers.
I had no idea either. Yeah, Tri-City Dust Devils, I've never even heard, or Dust Devils, sorry, I've never even heard of them. But let's see how this last question, did it change anything in the board? Well, we'll see the finishers. Ian Ongers finishes in third. Second place was Crisostomo. And number one, holding the firm lead to the finish, Asian Dad. Yes, congratulations to the three of you. Runners up were DJJD and Nick LeBeau. Asian Dad, congratulations for winning the first ever NorbCam Seahawks trivia game. That was a heck of a lot of fun, actually. And it actually kind of worked out okay. The whole thing didn't fall apart. I was kind of impressed, actually. So, gentlemen, we got to see how you guys all did. Martin, well, I know. Well, you only missed one question, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
You went 11 to 12. Calvin, Calvin, you were. What was your final record?
I think I was 500. I'm out of
said 6 out of 12. Noah, how about you?
Bro, I started strong. I didn't finish strong. I can't remember exactly what I had, but I think I was in the middle.
I think you missed 4 or 5. Right. You were just ahead of Calvin, but Seahawks Martin. I knew there was a reason I brought you on this show, buddy, and it wasn't just because you're this cute little 12-year-old. Not to take away that you're not a cute 12-year-old, but man, it's your knowledge and your just passion of sports, man. You just bring it every time, man. What do you have to say? Winning the first ever on the panel, winning this first ever NorbCam Seahawks trivia game. How did you do it? Oh, and by the way, before you answer that, Nick LeBeau, 199 in the super chat, he says this Kahoot thing needs to be weekly. It was fun. I think we're onto something here. Yes. So
somebody said in the chat, he said, "What if Asian Dad is NorbCam?"
No, I'm not playing my own trivia game. I'm not playing my own trivia game. I don't even know. I'm not familiar with Asian Dad. That's a new name. I haven't seen it a lot in here. But yeah, Martin. So what'd you think? What'd you think of the whole contest? And how was it that you managed? How many of these questions did you know, and how many did you guess on?
I guessed on 3 of them or so. I had no clue about the baseball one because I am not a baseball guy at all.
But you got lucky and guessed it.
I don't follow them. I don't know. It just comes out from the back of my head. I am addicted. I am addicted to football. It's pretty crazy. And my friend Adam just texted me, "You're too much of a Hawks fan." Really?
No such thing. There's never too much. That is pretty impressive, man.
Guys, I have a confession to make. You guys know who Crisostomo was?
Mm-mm.
I started the account, guys.
What? That's been you this whole time? Oh my gosh! You've been Crisostomo's secret account this whole time? Oh my goodness!
Yes.
Plot twist! Wow, this is Martin the whole time. You should have told me right away. You should have played this thing out for another few weeks
because
you had me.
I was like, I can't.
No
I can't
way.
I'm ooh, they're so ooh.
Oh man! Well, you were doing well in the. Wait a minute. So you were Crisostomo in the game then?
Yes.
Oh, so that's how you pulled off the second place, but you still lost to Asian Dad. Interesting.
Yeah, whatever that is. Yeah, you did great.
Wow, that's impressive though. That's impressive. Well, I would love to see if let's see if I can get Asian. We'll do. I don't have a face to face, but if Asian Dad is still watching, Asian Dad, in the chat, acknowledge that you're here. Asian, I feel like I'm running a seance. If you're here, acknowledge us with your presence. Give us a sign of your presence in the room. Asian Dad, are you there?
Well, I don't know if anybody can just say they're Asian Dad
Deadly Skills is Asian Dad, guys. He just said so. I'm Asian Dad.
Well, I was hoping people would put their YouTube name. That way it would be consistent with who they are. But if there's no actual Asian Dad, we have like 50 people say, oh yeah, I'm Asian Dad. Like this white guy from Virginia. Yeah, I'm Asian Dad. That's me. Well, who is Asian Dad? I just want to see. Let's see if we can get an honest action. We have no proof.
Skills, apparently.
Look at this now.
Okay, now the paper.
Everybody's claiming to be
Asian Dad. Like.
So here's the problem now, because I was gonna give a little reward for winning the competition, but if I can't verify that Asian Dad is who they say they are, how am I going to actually verify this?
It's going to Chrysostomo.
I might have to give it to the second place person. Seahawks 12 now says I'm the. Oh wait, there's Asian Dad. There's Asian Dad. Asian Dad. So this is a real Asian Dad, huh? With the yellow
someone makes
sort
an
of
account, the real Asian Dad.
Well, someone else
so there's like a whole bunch of Asian Dad YouTube. Okay, Asian Dad says he's here. Okay. All right. Now, when I set up the game, I did say everybody sign in as your YouTube handle, and there's the guy with his YouTube handle. So, well, Asian Dad. Let's see, what can we do here? You don't have to give out too much information, but can you say what your first name is? Do I know? So I know who I'm talking to. You got Seahawks 12. Asian Dad, fake. I'm the real one. Asian Dad, what's your name?
Really
you don't have to tell your full name. Just tell me what's your
We just got added Snapchat. That should be his reward. You added Snapchat.
Asian Dad is Yona. Your name is Yona?
No. Is that what
it's
he
really
said?
Yona
Or is that
B.
what someone else said?
All right. Well, this is what we'll do. Because I'm about to figure this out later. So, Asian Dad. Okay, I'm gonna trust that you're correct. I want you to. What you need to do is send me an email to norb@norbcam.com. And that way we can kind of get things hooked up. But basically what I wanted to do is sort of a reward for the first trivia, and hopefully not the last one. I am offering you a special guest appearance, just like these guys are doing, a special guest appearance on a future NorbCam show. We'll do a little interview, talk some Seahawks football, maybe even join you guys in on the chat or on the screen with these guys and join our panel to talk some Seahawks football. How does that sound, Asian Dad? Asian Dad, I'm gonna put my little thing here.
That's like what I call Norb.
I am an Asian Dad, by the way. There we go.
Normally
a producer would handle all this stuff on the side, but since I'm the producer and the talent and the engineer and everything, I have to do this all myself. So there you go. I put my email in there, norb@norbcam.com. Send me your contact info, and then we'll hook up off the show to get this thing set up. But assuming you're all being honest, which I would like to think that you are, because who would cheat on a NorbCam trivia contest? I mean, that would just be low.
That'd be terrible.
Congratulations to Asian Dad for his dominating performance of getting. Actually, he wasn't dominating. He almost lost it. He only got 12,823, and Chrysostomo was at second, so close, 12,808. You missed it by 15 points. If you didn't get that one question wrong, you would have won this thing. And then you wouldn't have gotten a reward. It's like, hey, guess what? You get to be on the show. Oh, wait, no, you're already there. So it's actually. There's a
call on the chat saying that this person named Asian Dad changed the username. This is turning into a conspiracy.
Scroll up in the chat. That is the fake Asian Dad. Now I'm gonna have to launch an internal FBI investigation to figure out who's really telling the truth here.
No, man.
Oh, Deadly Skills is not Asian Dad. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he says, yeah, he changed it. Look above. Oh, my goodness. Come on, people. Let's be honest right here.
Change the name.
Let's just award it to Chrysostomo, okay? Let's just award it to Chrysostomo.
He's fake. He changed his name from Yona to Asian Dad. Oh, my goodness. Albert says, restart the quiz. Let's have a second round. So I only got one. Well, we're going to have to. I might have to have a playoff. Maybe I'll have to have a playoff round. We'll figure this out. We'll figure this out. All right, whatever it is, if you claim to be, if you are the real Asian Dad, I want you to email me, and I'm going to get to the bottom of this. By hook or by crook, I am going to figure out who the real Asian Dad is. And it's not me, even though I am an Asian Dad. All right, we will do this again. This was a heck of a lot of fun and a lot more successful than I thought it would be. And yeah, we'll do this next time. Maybe make this thing some kind of a weekly deal. That was a heck of a lot of fun. So I want to say thank you to all the people who are watching this, for all the people who commented into the super chat, and everybody who participated in the game. That was a blast. I think we had like 55 players in there. And of course, I want to thank my guests for being here. Of course, Seahawks Martin, Noah, the Boelter, and Calvin Domingo. One more time for the audience in case they came in later. Calvin, why don't you start off, talk about who you are, where they can find you, and all that good stuff.
I also go by Seahawks Smith. You can find me on YouTube. I post weekly videos, both NBA, NFL. Subscribe, and then don't forget to subscribe to Noah's as well. DJ Squabo, Squabo. He posts daily videos. And then last but not least, also subscribe to Seahawks Martin. He's an aspiring sports analyst.
Oh,
and he's on a pretty good trajectory right now. So you can find him. You can find all of us in the links below, and you can find him at Seahawks Martin.
All right. Noah, once you follow up, we'll wrap it up with Martin.
Yeah, so we do a show every single week, Saturday from 10 to 1. You can listen live on the KGRG app. If you miss it, we do it on SoundCloud. We podcast it up, and you can listen anytime, anywhere on SoundCloud. The links are in the description. Okay,
and last but certainly not least, because he was first in your group and almost took the entire trivia contest, Seahawks Martin, the walking encyclopedia of knowledge. Tell them about your YouTube channel real quick here to the people watching.
Woo! Man, that Chrysostomo account, man, that was fun. Something you guys. Yeah, so now you guys know who started the account now. But wherever Chrysostomo is, we all know Norb will eventually beat him. Yeah. Obviously, you guys know that my channel is called Seahawks Martin, like Calvin said, before you subscribe to mine, but you really seriously have to subscribe to Noah and Calvin's. Their YouTube channels are awesome and lit. And I'm planning to start something new, like a digital version of the Boelt. But it's not the Boelt. It's going to be called the Seahawks Martin Show. I couldn't think of anything else, right? And I'm going to have two guests that are my friends. My friend Adam and my friend Andrew from school. They both also talk football. Actually, my name is Adam on the chat, but he spelled his name wrong. But yeah, it's not going to be radio type. It's more like, it's going to be kind of like what you do. You can see like on 710, you know how there's like, they have an app, they have actually a studio view. You can see them in the studio. That's basically what we're going to do, but more of a Zoom call. And so, man, I can't wait. We're going to start recording Friday, and then hopefully it comes out Saturday. Might have to edit this stuff. But other than that, yeah. Asian Dad started virus.
This Asian man thing started a whole YouTube controversy. Who's the real Asian man? Or Asian Dad, sorry, Asian Dad. Oh, okay. So, all right, thanks guys for that. Again, their descriptions and links are in their links and channels are in the description. Sub them up and give them some love. But that's it. And if you haven't given me some love, do the same thing. I'd love for you to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified anytime a new video comes out. My name is Norb Kawili, also known as NorbCam. I appreciate you guys spending some time with us, and we will talk to y'all later. Go Hawks.